Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Julianne here, and today I'm joining in on the Spread Joy Not Germs blog hop. I'm so excited to be hopping along with all of you. There are over 150 designers joining in today, as well as 31 sponsors. So make sure to hit all the stops and comment for your chance to win some truly amazing prizes. For my card today, I'm going to be creating a shaker card using products from Trinity Stamps, most of which are from their newly released spring release. I'm going to be using the Dir-Tea Bunny stamp and die set, the Dust Bunny stamp and die set, and two of the Sublime series die sets to create my shaker card. I'm going to start off my card today by stamping my images onto some Express-It blending cardstock with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink so that I can do my Copic coloring. Once I have all of my bunnies stamped out, I'm going to be adding a sentiment into that coffee cup image. The Dir-Tea Bunny stamp set has a variety of 15 different sentiments that will fit into that coffee cup image. And for my card today, I chose the Dust for You sentiment because I thought it would fit perfectly with my card, since I do plan on sending this to a friend who's been having a hard time lately. She is currently battling cancer, so I wanted to create a card that would make her smile, and that's what this blog hop is all about today. It's for us all to sit down and use our card making superpowers and make a card to send a friend during this difficult time. Now, I did end up doing my Copic coloring off camera today, since I really wanted to focus on the shaker part of my card. Once I had all of my images colored in, I'm going to use their coordinating dies to cut them out. Now, the coordinating die set for the Dir-Tea Bunny will actually cut out the bunny's arms so that he can hold on to that coffee cup. So I'm just going to make sure that I have that lined up before running it through my die cutting machine. And to create my shaker window today, I'm going to be using two separate Slimline Card Series dies, the scalloped edges and banners, as well as the stitched panels and windows. And I'm going to be using the largest scallop die and the smallest stitch die today. And as you can see here, I'm going to be placing the small stitch die inside of the scallop die and temporarily adhering them together with some purple tape so that when I run this through my die cutting machine, it's going to cut out a scalloped window. Now, I did run this through my die cutting machine a total of 8 times with some white cardstock in order to create my shaker well. And I'm not going to be using foam adhesive today for my shaker. Instead, I'm going to be adhering each one of these layers together, and that will make it so that I don't need foam adhesive. But before I start adhering my frames together to create my shaker well, I'm going to be doing some quick ink blending. And to do this, I'm going to be using my favorite Distress Oxide ink color, which is Cracked Pistachio, to ink blend the bottom part of my scalloped frame here, using one of my Trinity Stamps ink blending brushes. And I'm going to continue to blend till I get the color I want, doing most of my heavy blending at the bottom of the frame and gradually fading up towards the top. Now, once I'm done with my ink blending, I am going to start adhering all of my frames together using some liquid adhesive. And before I adhere that last frame down, I'm going to trim down some acetate and adhere that using that same adhesive before adhering my final frame, which is going to be the one that we did the ink blending with today. And now that I have all of my frames adhered together, you can see here that it's going to be plenty thick to add in a bunch of embellishments for my shaker without the need for using any foam adhesive. But before I do that, I'm going to run that large scallop die through my die cutting machine without the stitch die that I used earlier to create my backer piece. And again, I'm going to come in with that cracked pistachio and do some more ink blending, doing the same as before with doing the heavy blending at the bottom of my panel and then fading out towards the top. And to add some texture, I'm going to smush my cracked pistachio onto my work surface and add some water. And then I'm going to come in with a paintbrush and I'm going to flick that cracked pistachio all over my backer panel. And once I'm completed with my backer panel, I'm going to start getting all of my other elements together in order to complete my shaker. And here I'm going to show you how the die cuts cut out that coffee mug as well as my Dir-Tea bunny. And you can see that the die set cuts out a little hole where the handle should be. And that's going to make it really easy for you to slide his little paw right through that hole to make it look as though he's holding that coffee mug that I talked about earlier. And off camera, I did some additional die cutting, and I die cut some additional white cardstock to spell out the sentiment smile with the new Marshmallow Alpha dies. And now I'm just going to start adding in all of my embellishments into my shaker well, and I'm just using a bunch of different embellishment mixes from Trinity Stamps that I had on hand that include candy confetti, melted icicles, slumber party, and oh my stars. And I'm not too worried about adding in too many sequins because that window frame that I created is super thick, so there's plenty of room for them to move around in there. And I really want this card to be super fun and colorful and cheerful for my friend. So I'm just adding in a whole bunch of sequins, as you can see here, because I really want this card to be super fun for her. Now once I had filled up my shaker well with all of those beautiful embellishments, you can see here how they just look so great with that blended background with all those different colors and shapes and sizes. I just really love the way that this came out. I adhered my backer panel directly to those window frames using some liquid adhesive. And now here I'm going to use that same adhesive to adhere my shaker to my card base. And now that I have all of that adhered, I'm going to start working on adhering all of my other elements, and I'm going to adhere those directly down to my shaker, and that's going to include those cute little bunnies that I colored up earlier, as well as my Marshmallow Alpha sentiment. And to add that final touch to my card today, I decided to stamp out the sentiments "You've got this," as well as "I miss you" from the Almost Everything sentiment stamp set. And I stamped those out onto some black cardstock, and I did heat emboss them using some Gina K white embossing powder. And I'm going to adhere both of those sentiments down directly to my shaker window using some foam adhesive strips, and I'm going to adhere them directly underneath my smile sentiment. And that's going to complete my card for today. I want to thank you all for stopping by and hopping along with me, as well as the rest of the designers in the Spreading Joy Not Germs blog hop. I encourage you all to create something that would make someone smile, and make sure to send it off. This card has already been put in the mail, and I hope it brings a giant smile to my friend's face in her time of need. All the supplies I used in today's video will be listed and linked down below if you are interested. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more card making videos. And as always, I want to wish you a wonderful day and happy crafting!